Oh man, Jesus Christ, man, that is just a funny chapter, man.
Who says that?
Oh man.
Maybe if you check, like the funny thing, it wasn't a joke. It's like, maybe if you index the page, what are you talking about, bro?
I was so lost in that.
He was lost, apparently. Maybe if you index the page.
That might have been like the coolest thing he said all week.
He's been waiting.
I love you, man. Let me preface that. I love you, guy. But that was funny.
He's been waiting to say that to somebody for the longest. Maybe if you index the page, it'll show up on my Spotify list. It's on Spotify, too. We're on Spotify.
We're on Spotify as well?
We're on Spotify, yeah.
We're on Spotify.
Oh, shit. So we're... All right.
We're out there, man. Like, that's what... Like,
Yo,
the funny thing is, like,
international.
I went on the same Plex app and found my own podcast.
That wasn't that difficult.
But, you know, them Android phones is different. Like, they legit had a phone at one point they had to pull off the market because it blew up,
That.
like, repeatedly.
Let's not forget about that.
Consistently.
That
Yeah,
was a
consistently.
real...
We're
That
banned
was,
from airports.
that was a threat.
Yeah, it was like
threat.
you would buy like tickets, and they were like, "Yo, if you had this phone, you cannot get on this plane." Yo, how crazy is that?
That is
and
wild.
niggas would still argue with you, yo, but Samsung out here doing it.
Like, bro, they're
You got bombs.
Like, they may not have it now, but at one point you had that in your life. Like, the worst thing Apple has done was like, what was it?
YouTube?
Yeah, the YouTube shit was pretty bad.
That's
up there.
fucked up, though. Yeah, that really is.
I mean, that's some
fucked up
creepy
thing.
shit.
It
I mean,
is.
if there's creepier shit, they probably
You had
could
to do like a factory reset to get the shit off, and it still was
Yo,
there.
remember when
Niggas
you
had
lost
hard
your
reset,
music?
had to put their phone in rice.
Huh?
Remember that night you lost all your music? It just disappeared?
Oh yeah.
That was crazy. I never seen
No,
that
I got
shit
it back.
ever.
I got it back.
I know, but that was just crazy that you were going through that.
I got scared. Like
You did.
that was like, you know what I'm saying? That's like years of like, you know, saved music. You know, and like I would have to take a whole day off for work. Like I can't come in something serious and like rearrange my like thing.
I think Apple's trying to send a message.
No, I just need a new phone.
They
They about to come out. They about to come out the
There's your
XS.
message.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not like I should have been upgrading my phone, but I simply didn't do it out of sheer laziness. Like, because every time I like stopping in the store to like pay my bill, even though I could pay it online. But I even though I hate people, I just
like
like sometimes
interaction.
like to engage with people. Mm-hmm. But no, I go there and they always try to get me to upgrade my phone. But I just, you know, I'm like, all right, bet I'll get around to it. I just never get around to it, and leave my laziness to pay it off because they're about to drop the XS soon. So.
The XS, is that smaller?
No.
I don't know. I don't give. It's
No,
just
they
a new
always
thing.
have. They always had an S than the off year.
XS.
Yeah, so it was like the 7S, the 6S.
All right.
They didn't have an 8S.
Well, I got that Apple shit, so I could like jump some
Upgrade
phone,
every year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
I have that.
They really made that nice.
Yeah,
All right, Apple.
we paid for it though.
You see you, Apple.
See you.
You out here.
Put us
yeah,
on that.
300 billion in the bank. How do you have 300 billion cash,
That's how much they have.
like in the bank, just like chilling? That's, you know, like they just stockpiling. $1 trillion company.
That's
Out
nuts.
here. Yeah, it's just there's levels to the shit, man. You know,
I can't.
do you put up your own money?
You're not a boss.
You're not a boss until you have 300 billion in the
Rules are
bank.
rules.
My son's selling cookies.
My son has cookies.
He has his own cookies. Nothing like your son having his own cookies.
I don't care. I would if that nigga offered me a job, I'm taking it. I don't
Just
care.
to be around
Yeah.
Dame Dash for
There's
like a
things you
week.
can learn.
Oh
There's
yeah,
things
hell
you
yeah.
can learn.
Just a week though. I like
That's all
at
you
some
can
point
take.
you will fight him.
Yeah, like I don't want to ruin I don't want to burn any bridges.
I don't think it's that. It's just his like intensity. He's like Puff.
Yeah.
Like I don't think I could work for Puff longer than the summer. Everybody that worked with Puff left, except for
Yeah.
Andre Harrell. And Puff used to work for him, so that shows you their relationship.
Yeah, no, yeah, no. I
Like
couldn't
everybody
work.
else kind of moved on, but they still love Puff. But
But
he's
it's
too
just
intense.
like, I love you, but I can't work.
Yeah, he
for
can't
you.
work for you. Yeah, like Lenny S used to work for Puff.
Would Puff be like the like if they say they do a Devil Wears Prada 2? Can we get Puff in there? Like would he be like the real life
Meryl
Miranda?
Streep? Yeah, like real
Could
Anna
happen.
Winters.
Anna Wintour, like that. I mean, we have Anna Wintour, of course. I'm just saying, but it's say we went that route. Like,
Puff is the
well, they
the
kind
version
of
of
did that
hip-hop.
already, didn't
Puff,
they? Do
I mean,
give him
Puff-
to the Greek. Then wasn't that kind of like in real?
Puff is that
Yeah,
version in
yeah.
hip hop. It's Puff, and then like he said, Russell Simmons was like that too. Like
Yeah,
to
look,
be
we
at
heard
that
about
level,
that motherfucker.
to be at that level, you have to be some kind of there's some
Eccentric?
you're eccentric. You're there's some ruthlessness in you, and there's a lot of like energy that people can't match. Mm-hmm. Like, you're up at hours, people ain't up. You probably could go for days. Like, that, you know, Paul. But that's just, they're at a different level of life. You know, God don't make too many of those people like that. You know, they found their gift and they tapped into it. Like, nobody can't match Puff's energy.
Nah, that motherfucker's always working. Always.
You're on something.
Always.
Yeah. But, you know, shout out to Puff. Not up for debate.
Not up for debate.
Closing out this summer.
Yo, it's oh, man. And summer 2018 was crazy. Yeah. But I'm kind of glad it's over.
Really? It was long.
I thought August was long.
August was long, yeah.
July kind of breezed by. And then August was dragging.
I know. It felt like the whole summer was long because it didn't get super hot till the tail end of the summer.
Yeah. It was a lot of rain.
Yeah, like for most of it. Then this last month and a half, we got hit with straight heat. Like, you know what I'm saying? Which made it feel actually like summer. And it, like, reset itself.
Yeah, and it was just, like, fucking hot.
Yeah, because today, like I said, we're in, like, September. It was, like, 90 today. You know?
Yeah, it was pretty nice. But it wasn't humid.
Nah,
yeah, the last couple days was
super humid.
But I'm looking forward to the fall. Summer 2018 was nice.
Right.
A lot of shit went off this summer. This was an eventful summer for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Going down the history books, fair to say.
Yeah.
I guess was the kickoff to the summer? Was it Pusha and Drake?
Kind of. Yeah. That was like the unofficial kickoff. Yeah.
It was rumblings. It was like a build up.
I mean, the whole good music rollout was like the start of the summer.
Okay.
But they didn't have any hits. So that didn't.
But the build up
didn't help them.
Yeah,
it kind of like they didn't fucking deliver. They didn't, like Paul just said, they didn't stick the landing.
They threw the alley.
Like they had the summer in their hands. If they had two good fucking hits.
That's all
out of all the music they dropped. I mean,
I still think
35 songs, and there's no fucking.
I want to say that
there's no top 10 Spotify songs.
I still want to say it had the same impact as the Good Fridays.
No, Good Fridays was them shits was hitting. That the thing about the Good Fridays, it was real good music, and then everybody was playing it. It was a different vibe.
No, like you could have bundled the whole Good Friday and made an album of it, of course, but still though, like
it's called My Darkest. But I'm talking about this on his album
because out of the 5 albums that dropped this summer, we still got 3 quality albums out of it. Push's album, Tiana Taylor's album, and the Kids See Ghost album. Like we still got great quality out of it.
I don't think people are still talking about those albums the way they're talking about some of the other.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, that's the problem is that Cardi B still ran summer. And her album dropped in April.
Drake too, but I'm just saying,
Drake dropped.
I'm not trying to say individually. I'm not trying to say individually, but collectively, the moment itself still is worth mentioning.
Tiana probably had the best lasting moment because she tricked it into a good parlay for her tour, and then she just had some other shit lined up. She was just smart. She just capitalized. She knew some shit was like. She was like, "Fuck it, this is my moment." She just piled on the work. Yeah, so shout out to Tiana Taylor because she just did mad other shit. Like she already had the TV show popping. She dropped the album. She did the shit with Asian Provocateur, which is huge. You know what I'm saying in that world.
What's that?
It's a lingerie line, but it's like the top lingerie line. Okay. Them and La Pearl. But she did that, and then she just I felt like she had the shit down in the city with her nail salon. Like she just had shit lined up for her, and then she got on tour, and then she shitted on Jeremiah, which worked in her favor because she just kind of has that New York attitude that it kind of matched her. You know, it matched her intensity. Mm-hmm. Like she's intense. Like you could believe that she would slap the shit out of Jeremiah. Like that's gonna nobody questioned that when she was like, "Yo, I will slap the shit out of you," and nobody was like, "Yo, chill, Tiana." Like they was like, "Yo, she probably will slap the shit out." I think somebody co-signed it actually. Somebody was like, "Yo, I seen her slap a nigga."
Imagine like
he fucked up on Queen's Flip.
Well, somebody co-signed like she slapped another industry nigga. Like somebody's like, "Y'all seen her slap a nigga."
Man, I can see the movie for her right now, and that whole Jeremiah experience.
The funny thing is, like, people just don't be feeling him. Party Next Door had the same situation with him. Like, on tour, he's a prima donna. Funny style. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess he doesn't do a good show. So, you know, Party was doing a good show. Tiana gives a good show, I heard.
And he's like, fuck that.
Yeah, I'm a
Can't outshine me.
But we're talking about that whole rollout with this.
I'm not talking about it.
Well, I'm just saying you guys transition into Tiana. What I was trying to say is I'm not splitting them all apart. I'm like I'm bundling the whole experience together.
I thought it was a good idea, but they didn't stick the landing. If you don't remember it and nobody's listening to it,
niggas is gonna remember it. Niggas won't be able to remember.
We don't remember nothing.
Niggas won't be able to remember every individual song, but they'll remember the moments.
They don't even give. If we're not talking about it, niggas don't even give them credit for the Good Friday shit.
I think we
don't remember nothing in this society.
The most memorable thing to come out of this whole rollout with good music was the Pusha Drake.
That's what I'm saying. They will remember that from that.
Yeah, that's going to be what overshadows everything else.
And that got swept under the rug. Who talks about that?
Because Drake came in and he did what he had to do.
Nobody even still calls him a father. Like, dude, he was hiding a child. We still have not seen the child.
Yeah,
he's still hiding a child.
Nigga dead at Adidas.
He's dead at Adidas over this shit.
It has to. He
picked stripes. Checks over stripes.
That's what he likes.
The intent was good on good music, but I think I'm saying the execution.
I mean, I'm just saying, me personally, if I was a part of that, I wouldn't regret it.
No,
I would.
I wouldn't regret it.
I mean, all right.
Helped a lot of people out. 07 Shake, party did some things.
I don't think it helped 07 Shake out. I think 07 Shake fucked herself.
Oh, I wanted to talk about that last week, too. That might be one of the smartest moves I've ever seen from an up-and-coming artist. To fire Yes Jules as your manager.
That's nothing. No.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah, I don't get it either.
No, I think it makes so much sense.
Explain yourself.
From a business point of view, nobody takes Yes Jules serious. People might get her to wear. You might have her wear your shit. You might bring her out to host your parties. But what the fuck does she really know about managing an artist? Like I said, and when she
got you on 4 of the 5 fucking albums that came out.
Let me finish.
So she obviously knows something. She also has a show with the 1 a.m. that does good. She pretty much is the female version, 40-ounce Vans. We say we don't take her serious, but we're talking about her.
No, people talking about her.
She got this artist. She got this artist in front of fucking Kanye West, and on 4 out of 5 albums, she knows something. I don't give a fuck what she does. She has a deal with Puma. Like we shit on Yes Jules. But she cooking.
I'm saying, listen, let me finish my point.
So somebody's taking her seriously. She was on CS, what is it, NBC?
Let me finish your point. Let me finish my point.
Forbes?
I'm going to finish my point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She's
Somebody take her seriously.
No, listen, she's out there. But that's the thing. That's what I'm worried about if I'm Shake. You know what I'm saying? Yes, Jules, she's still a brand. You know what I'm saying? She's still a brand. She still has to work on herself. Like, if I want a manager that's going to be able to give it all to me. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to share with you. I want you to give all your time to me. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it was done like maliciously. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to say she kicked the fuck out of her. No, I don't think that was the case at all.
It wasn't like 07 Shake was bubbling.
No, you're right.
Like, this unsigned
you're right. I'm not taking that
away.
I'm not taking that away from Yes Jules. I'm not taking that away from Yes Jules at all. 07 Shake, as of right now, owes her career. But to take it to the next level, I'm sorry. I still see Yes Jules. I'm pretty sure others will see Yes Jules as the chick from Snapchat. I'm sorry. As the white girl with the fat ass. I don't want to bring it to that point because I don't want to take away from what Yes Jules got.
But that's fine for us. I'm not speaking from that perspective of us on the outside looking in. I'm talking about an industry. She's obviously getting in rooms and doors and around people that 07 Shake wasn't getting around. She got her in the doors. So I'm not speaking from our perspective. We say, that's a good move. That wasn't a good move for 07 Shake. I don't know who she went with. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't follow up and see who her management style went with. I'm not trusting anything out of good music because Kanye is all over the place.
You want to sign with Scooter Braun?
I don't think Scooter Braun signed her, though.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying if it's
that's different. But that's different. I'll sign with Scooter Braun. A lot of people will sign with Scooter Braun, but we didn't say Scooter Braun signed her. And there's a lot of good managers out there. We don't know them by name. Right. Just because you don't know them, don't mean they're good managers. But obviously, she was putting her in fucking fashion shows. Get the fuck out of here. This girl's crazy. I'm going to fall. I specifically target 07 Shake. I want to see what she does. I'm just that person. Everybody knows that. Let's give this shit some time. I'm always saying that. Let's give it some time. Yeah. Let's see how good your decision was. Because I thought it was a poor decision. You don't do it that close to after you just basically hit that point where you became a household name by being on these albums. And then you just fire your fucking manager that got you to that point. That shit sounds crazy. Unless there was some beef. There wasn't no Cardi B beef we heard. It wasn't nothing like that. I understand Cardi B doing it because Cardi B was getting robbed. That's some different shit. 07 Shake.
Cardi B was with.
She was with her own personal management, her team that got her to the point where she got but then she left and went to QC management. But then she started bubbling with them too. So it wasn't like QC like held her back. They put her in Rolling Stone, but Cardi B was already bubbling. She was a star. You know what I'm saying? But like her management team was just robbing her. And then sometimes your management can't handle what's coming in either. Like the shit just gets too big for them. And you got to move on.
That's my thing. That's my thing with it.
I don't think
it's like time. I don't think 07 Shake, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, she was on 4 of those 5 albums. If her stock continued to rise, you know what I'm saying? Like, where's the time? Like, you're not gonna be able to split your time with Yes Jules too, because Yes Jules is also trying to be a star. She just released the fucking some terrible rap song. Like, you know, like
but that's not her.
That's what I'm saying. No, that was her. Like, it was her song.
I'm not saying that.
She did a song with who was on? Yachty was on the song.
Yeah, it was like it wasn't
Black Boy. Black Boy was on the song. That's
was
what I'm saying.
Black Boy or was it Rich the Kid?
It was Black Boy.
One of them niggas.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying though. I don't need my manager doing all that. I'm sorry. I don't need my manager doing that. But Puff doesn't manage niggas.
He did.
He
managed Nicki at one point and fucking Rick Ross.
He was not hands on for any of them niggas.
He's hands on. We talk about Puff not being fucking hands on.
Control freak.
We just talked about
in the studio. Yes, when somebody's a manager,
as
like,
life.
All right.
Why do you think fucking?
You don't think he's always like that?
No. I know he's hands on. Like,
I wish you would tell Puff he ain't gonna be in the room when shit go down.
I would not want Puff. No, that's just it. Me personally, if I want a manager, I want a guy who will be able to give it all to me, not give it all to me and work on your shit. No, nigga, you work for me, my nigga. You know, that's the type of manager I want.
I get that. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I thought it was the wrong decision for this artist.
Do you think it was too soon?
It was way too soon.
Okay.
Way too soon. Like, 07 Shake was she was overseas. This is a dirty girl from fucking Jersey. And she was overseas doing fashion shows. And then next thing you know, 3 months later, you're doing 4 out of 5 albums in Wisconsin or Wyoming, whatever, with Kanye West. And you just gonna fire her because, I think my career made it. That goes to show you, like, niggas get real greedy. They see the money, and they say, I don't need you no more. I made it. Like, Kanye West has signed me. Kanye West is fucking crazy. Yeah. And then being signed to a label is different than being signed to management.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what my fear is for this artist. I don't think she understands that. Because don't fucking cut your nose to spite your face. You was getting opportunities and bread from other fucking revenues. Fashion shit. All this other shit that you was doing.
She might not have been.
You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why Travis Scott don't shit on fucking T.I. You got him in the fucking door. He still signed a good Grand Hustle.
He is?
Yeah, it says it on his album. It says Grand Hustle.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
You know what I'm saying? Like, T.I. does good business. You know, T.I. got bread. He may not make good music like he does, but everybody knows T.I. does good business. Like, you want to be around niggas that put you in a good position to do other shit. You know what I'm saying? That's why niggas signed with Rock Nation. Yeah, maybe Jay is not going to be on your songs. You don't need Jay to be on your songs. I just need you to give me some deals. I felt like Yes Jules could do that for you. Yes Jules has a connection with all these people, man. She was like, she had shit with like Sprite. She had shit with LeBron. Like, I just want to get an opportunity to get in the door. Usually that's how the shit goes. The thing is like, get me in the front door. It's about connections. Management is about connections. Same thing with an agent. He's like, what can you?
Networking.
Yeah, networking. Yeah. Like, why would Yes Jules is probably one of the best networks. We don't agree with some of her methods, but she's working. Like you gave it.
She's a hustler.
Yeah, Puma gave a fucking influencer her own shoe in her own line.
Fuck.
You know what I'm saying? Like, she has a radio show. Like, she's an influencer. She's basically Kim Kardashian.
She's doing shit outside.
She's doing Kim Kardashian shit at a very low scale, and she took on a fucking artist who she was passionate for. It was like, I think this chick gonna be dope, and she turned out to be pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? And then you just fire her. Like, it seemed fucked up to me.
Right, no, just saying, me personally, like I said, I wouldn't want Jules to take it personally. You know, so like I said, Jules, you're right. She's in a lot of doors. Like, I would liken her to somebody like Vashti. You know what I'm saying? Vashti has the same level of clout. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, probably more. But at the same time, I still would not want Vashti to manage me. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I just need all the time to come to me. You know what I'm saying? I don't need you when things pop off with you and there's controversy. You have to fucking deal with that, and then I can't get a hold of you to deal with my shit. You know what I'm saying?
But that wasn't their issue. That's the crazy thing. Like, she wasn't saying none of that. I mean, she hasn't said nothing, but it didn't seem like that was her issue. Like, it didn't seem like she was losing being on that team. I could have seen it was like, this chick they got, and she just can't be consistent. She dropped some EPs. She was on the radio. She was doing some shit. She was on a Fabulous album. She was moving. She was shaking. 07 Shake was shaking.
You're right. Like I said, I've never heard of her I've never heard of her until Yes Jules. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll give like that she can never take away. You know what I'm saying? Like,
good luck to her, man. I'm gonna be following her. She's definitely on one of my. We'll see what's happening in another year.
You know who Loki is having like in a phenomenal, like, year, well, like a run in general, coming out of last year too. Joe Budden. Like, he
had a great basically from the
2017.
Joe Budden is like that though. Joe Budden was
coming out of Everyday Struggle to now.
Yeah, but even before Everyday Struggle, I think his podcast had just
it was bubbling. I mean,
it started bubbling again. He's been doing it for a while, but once he redesigned it with Rory and Mal, and then kind of he had the female in there and he got rid of her. He wasn't fucking with Peter no more, and then it really took off, and then he kind of Rosenberg, they're frenemies
from Cheap Heat.
Yeah.
Oh, so his brother is the one who set him up with Spotify then?
No, that's not Peter Rosenberg's brother.
That's what he said. He said Ken Rosenberg.
Nick Rosenberg.
Or he said Peter's brother is the one who set up.
I think he's just being funny.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if he was talking about
Pete
the same thing.
fucking has a brother.
I didn't think so.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
But
I thought he was just being funny. I think he likes sticking it to Pete.
Oh, okay, all right.
He calls it Peter.
Yeah, it is funny.
They're frenemies though.
They're
more enemies now though.
It feels like it. They've been
hitting
low.
Joe has been. Yeah, Joe kind of just been getting serious with him.
Well, Rosenberg be saying some wild shit.
Well, Rosenberg, I don't know why, because I see what
he has a false sense of entitlement.
Yeah, I think,
but he's like that in every realm that he's in.
But that's why people hate him. Yeah, and I get him. He wants to be a heel because he thinks life is wrestling too. Yeah. And I get it, but at the same time, some of these rappers are not playing with you.
Yeah, no.
I think I said I can't believe he has not been punched in his face yet.
He's not worth it.
Yeah, I think people understand what he does, his role in the scheme of things.
And he also has Ebro and all those other people, and
they check him.
Ebro's a friend of me to most of the industry niggas.
Yeah.
So niggas would be like, "Yo, check your mans, because I will fucking kill him." And then Ebro reins him in. But Rosenberg has this thing with Joe Budden where he feels he's entitled for his media, not the media version of Joe Budden, the broadcast version. Yo, I got you the podcast. He did one of those things where I made I made a fake network, but anybody can make a network. All you do is gotta get your friends to say, "Hey, we're just gonna put all our."
We have a network.
Yeah, basically you just say, "Yo, we're all gonna just pump out the same thing."
Yeah.
But everybody knew that Joe Budden was already an attraction.
It was already established.
Yeah, it's people build networks so you can share the same population, the audience. You know what I'm saying, like that, and then you're basically gonna feed off of that. But Joe Budden is already a household name. It wasn't oh shit, Peter Rosenberg put us onto this new nigga.
Yeah, people already knew about him.
He wasn't Greg Stats, whatever his name. Yeah,
Stat Guy Greg.
Yeah, Stat Guy Greg. He wasn't that guy.
That's great. I didn't realize that was the where their beefs stem from.
Kind of. Yeah, it's a lot of shit. Yeah.
I gotta say though that promo for State of the Culture.
It was entertaining.
Was kind of corny.
No,
it was funny, but it was.
But it's
corny.
Joe Budden corny, so it's cool.
Yeah, and I like this Joe Budden.
It's a new Joe Budden.
Yeah, he's doing new shit, and you can even hear it on the podcast. I haven't been listening that long, so I don't really have many episodes to really see how he's changed and stuff. But just on the podcast, it just seems so much more I don't know. He just, from what I saw on Everyday Struggle and the podcast, just two different people. And I like the podcast version of Joe Budden a lot more.
Yeah, he could let his hair down a little bit.
It's just crazy how he reinvented himself. You know what I'm saying? He's one of those people you thought, he's one of those people you thought it was there would be no hope.
Dead.
You know what I'm saying? Or one of those annoying NBA players that you just wish were retired, but somehow he's still playing in when he's 41. I would say he's Raps Vince Carter. Why don't you just stay down?
I tried watching an episode of Everyday Struggle, and I just couldn't do it.
Oh, with Wayno?
Yeah, because they agree with each other on everything.
Yeah, and Nick Cannon was on. I guess, one day this week, and it's just I wonder if they're just damn, we fucked up.
Complex got so many revenue streams of money. But don't give a shit.
But
they would like that to work, but they can't. I'll give it another 6 months.
I was gonna say I'm surprised
they'll keep pumping it out anyway because
it's easy to produce.
It's easy. it's in-house studio.
I mean, listen, they're giving Ack a job right now, so I mean,
I'm glad you brought up Ack because I was just thinking like it's because he's at a great place too.
Yeah,
like when you think about it, like the voices for the culture is academics, Charlemagne, and Joe Budden. Like,
I mean, if Eminem is calling you out on the album, you're in a good place. You're in a good place. We'll get to Eminem in a minute, but like with Joe Budden though, like you said, he reinvented his second. You know, he's like on the third act of his career.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the rap act, reality TV act, and now it's the personality act.
His story is compelling, though.
Yeah, it's a very good story.
He always had this media broadcast because Joe Budden has a nice, phenomenal way of, like, putting things in perspective. Mm-hmm. And he's a great way with words, probably which made him a decent rapper and stuff like that. Joe Budden probably couldn't make a hit, but he was a phenomenal rapper, like, as far as, you know, his pen. But, like, taking that to broadcast, it made sense. It's like he figured it out. He cracked the code that most rappers cannot crack. Because most rappers look at it as like, they don't have no, and we talked about this a couple episodes ago, probably a couple months ago, like there's no retirement plan for rap. Like I feel like they keep making albums and it just keep getting worse. Like I know before we got on air, we was talking about Snoop Dogg and how his career is nice. And he has, every now and then you see a glimpse of the old Snoop and some of the verses. But like a Snoop album right now, it's not worth it to anybody.
Yeah.
To not even him. Like I'm not listening to it. Nobody's listening to it. It's not going to be good. Snoop has nothing to offer to the hip hop on a consistent basis. He's good for like a verse here and there.
Oh yeah, like mentoring.
Like he did this stuff with Dave East. I thought it was dope. But he figured out another way to parlay his career, and he's doing like TV shows.
He's also gone and done other types of music though too.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like he did the whole
gospel,
reggae shit.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like music wise, he's just not there.
Well, I think the fact that he's trying new things, though,
you know, in his heart.
Yeah, like he's like, all right, I'm not gonna fuck with this right now.
I'm sorry, no one's saying, when you put it in perspective, like you're right. It's like it's so simple. You think why nobody think of it before? Really? I mean, there's other rappers with You got Nori with a podcast. You know what I'm saying?
But like, I'm just saying those are the people who crack the code.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like when you retire from the NBA, you go work for TNT. Like you know what I'm saying? Like
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's what they did. They was like, yo, I know this shit from inside out. I have stories to give.
That's what I was going to say. There's stories.
Let me parlay this into a broadcasting career. A lot of them should be on a TV, either a TV show, or a lot of them should be doing a podcast. I don't think everybody should do a podcast.
Some people, yeah.
I think the problem is everybody feels like it is, like Joe Budden was talking about that in his interview, and I know, like, I've heard Howard Stern say that. He doesn't like podcasts because he feels like it's a cheap medium. You know, anybody could do it. It's amateur hour. And like a lot of people, got at him for that. And like Joe Budden had mentioned it too. It's really not true. Everybody can do a podcast. Doesn't mean you should do it. Exactly, anybody can make an album and put it on SoundCloud.
Doesn't mean you should have an album.
Doesn't mean you should. I like what Mr. Ruggs put out a couple weeks ago on fucking Instagram. He's like, I don't know who needs to see this, but like, if you fucking head into the studio right now, my nigga, don't do it. You know what I'm saying? like some niggas should not make music no more. But like with music, like if you're an artist who's like really good and established, but your music is just not hitting the way you used to back in the day, parlay that into something. Your voice is still valuable. You know what I'm saying? Like Joe Budden found a way. He's like, yo, my voice is still valuable. People still want to hear what I have and my thoughts and my opinions on this shit. And I'm speaking from an insider's perspective because I've done it at the highest level.
Well, it makes him an authority in the sense where like he
like
can
the
speak.
sports figures.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like you seen Shaq on there, and Shaq looks at fucking what's his name? Charles Barkley. He said, "You never went back to back," because he never went back to back.
No one else.
That's a fact.
No other non-NBA player is able to say that. Which then that's where Rory and Amal come in because they are like the outside. They're the fan talking to.
Yeah,
the now industry nigga. That's what Joe is now, essentially.
Yeah, and he can say, "Yo, you never went back to back." I mean, Joe never went back to back. Like he can't be like, "Yo, Drake." Drake can be like, "Yo, I went back to back on fucking Billboard." Joey never went back to back. Joey never went back to back.
But
Joe has no back-to-back on Billboard.
That's what one of the things
in general at all.
One of the things I like about Joe is that like he talks about that shit all the time, and like he's just like, yeah, it's like I sucked, like you know what I'm saying, like I did my shit, but
he's cool with being known as a one-hit.
He makes a parody of himself, like, and it's brilliant.
Because it's like it's
being
true.
In the club and pumping up comes up.
Like he flips it because now whenever weird shit happens, it's like, oh, who else but Joe Budden? Like I feel the same way with myself. You know what I'm saying? It's like only that could happen to him.
So like running joke with Joe Budden.
When is he gonna fuck this up?
Yeah, like you said.
like everyday struggle, we predicted. We predicted that. Everybody predicted it. Like, he's gonna fuck that up. This whole Spotify deal, like, how long we giving?
How long is it gonna last?
No, I think it'll last. I mean,
They seem motivated.
I don't think either party really have much to lose from it.
You're crazy.
With a lot to gain.
That's fucking. I think
it's
Spotify. Yeah, I think Spotify is on NASDAQ. I think they IPO.
You think you gonna fuck up the whole Spotify?
No,
bag?
but when you fuck up the bag, they get rid of you.
They gonna fuck up the Spotify suitcase.
They get rid of you before you fuck up the suitcase.
The bag, the whole suitcase.
Yeah, they get rid of you, nigga. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
He'll find a way to fuck this up.
That just sounds funny when you say it. The fall of Spotify all started with Joe Budden.
Nah, they gave Amy Schumer a deal. They gave Amy Schumer a deal too.
Yeah.
They threw the bag at Amy Schumer.
That's just a funny name when you say Joe Budden.
He does those type of things.
Right, it's just a name you just can't take serious.
The nigga was on. He used to wear a vest every week for fucking Love and Hip Hop. A jean vest at that. Not an Old Navy tech vest. Not some cool vest. Not a Stone Island vest. A fucking jean vest.
Every single week.
Every week. Joe Budden has the weirdest fucking hip hop
Shout out to
style
that show. That nigga Maul said, "Dude, I only gave you one vest."
Speaks his truth, man.
We're over here talking about another nigga's podcast.
Yeah.
Shout out to Joe Budden, man. Congrats on
them, man.
That's good for hip hop. It's good for the culture, man.
Yeah,
and it's good for him. He's doing some shit over in Revolt. Like he has a lot of shit going on right now, and I'm happy for him.
Yeah, he seems like he's in a good spot.
I think hip hop is rooting for him.
Yeah, really. Yeah. Like I think people hip hop is starting to grow up,
except for Eminem.
Yeah, Marshall.
What's up with your buddy Marshall, man? That's your guy.
I don't know, man.
Can
why?
I?
That's all I have. My question is just why.
Can I give my thing on it? All right.
Sure, Paul.
And I was saying this earlier. Eminem, like you said it too. He's going through sort of like the Nicki syndrome. You know what I'm saying? When you're in a certain position for so long, in a certain place, unchallenged, you know what I'm saying, you get spoiled. You know what I'm saying? You might get lazy. You might get a little, you might phone shit in from time to time. And that's always been Eminem's problem. You know what I'm saying? Like Eminem for the last couple of years, he's been getting away with a lot of shit. And it's basically off of his, his privilege, like his legacy privilege. And with, it's had a white privilege too. You know what I'm saying? And like he's gone on challenge. Like we should have, like there's been plenty of times we should have told him like, nigga, no. Like after he tried Relapse, we should have been like, nigga, no, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? But we let that shit ride. Now, income Revival. No, matter of fact, before Revival, he does that Donald Trump verse for the BET Cypher. And niggas let him have it. Like we like, yo, we get it. Like it was a cool message, but yo, it was a trash freestyle. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're in the social media age now, so you couldn't, like, back then, you couldn't tell Eminem during, like, 2004 that shit, like, that shit was whack. You know what I'm saying? People are telling this nigga to his face, mentioning, like, yo, that shit's trash. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, the shit you said with Trump for cool, but, like, bar for bar, it was trash. You know what I'm saying? So what does he follow that up with? He follows it up with Revival. You know what I'm saying? Arguably his worst album. I can't name 3 songs off the album.
Yeah, no.
You know what I'm saying? He didn't even have a good single to cushion it with. Because that's what he had with the other
Beyonce shit, and
but it didn't work. It did not work.
It was terrible for both artists.
Yeah. I think there was a lot
they both didn't want to perform.
Right.
There was a lot of unnecessary hype for that song.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he had to bring in Skylar Grey to perform Beyonce's part on SNL. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like, you had a trash single followed up with a trash album because you sat there and tried to do shit that you're not, you know what I'm saying? You try to force Ed Sheeran on us. You know what I'm saying? Get the fuck out of here, bro. Like, you try to force Ed Sheeran on us. You got songs with Pink and all these pop stars. Niggas that you would have dissed fucking 5-10 years ago and shit. Now you're trying to, like, you're chasing hits. And you made it obvious. You know what I'm saying? And I think what Eminem felt was he had his feelings hurt. Because this is, like, when he dropped Revival, that was the first time I felt in Eminem's career. And even the numbers reflected it. It was his lowest first weeks ever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we sent the shit back. Like, no, we're not going to eat this, Marshall. Go back and cook my food. Like, I think that's how he took it. Like, you know what I'm saying? And,
I will not have this.
Yeah, the shit pimped up. You know what I'm saying? So, like, all the niggas he dissed, like we're doing right now, they gave their honest opinion. Like, as people, like, we all grew up on Eminem. Like, everybody here, all the people that he dissed, all them niggas, we grew up on Eminem. Like, this is not what we want to hear from you. You know what I'm saying? We kill Hov whenever he drops trash verses and shit. You know what I'm saying? We do it all the fucking time. You know what I'm saying? But you don't see Hov, go out of his way to make a whole nother album 5 months later explaining himself. You know what I'm saying? And that's what he did with this album. This whole album was him just addressing criticism. You know what I'm saying? Like, the bars were there, but like, dude, I'm not going to listen to this months from now.
See, all right, so there's a couple of things that I took away from listening to this album. Hold on, let me put my notes up.
I'm gonna put up my cliff notes.
It really, it made me just reevaluate some things and look at things differently. And I feel like, and I was explaining this to Paul. I feel like Eminem if he's not the underdog in some way,
he's never going to be he's never really been the underdog. That's
what yeah, but in his head though, I think he feels that he's the underdog in most of these situations. Let me tell you why. Because I feel like Revival, he was at a point where he was riding high. He was, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was doing okay. And he dropped that fucking trash album. This album, it's not a bad album.
No, I'm not saying it's a bad album. It's just not what I want to hear.
It's not what I want to hear, but like music-wise and shit, like I like it. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's Eminem. It's the Eminem that I like. It's the old school Eminem that I like.
This is the album we should have gotten instead of Revival.
You're absolutely right.
Instead of Revival. And here's what I'm trying to...
Hold on, but this is what I'm saying. He didn't have anything to like...
He had no inspiration.
That's what I'm saying.
No,
yeah.
This was a completely... No, not this album, but the Revival was completely lazy.
There was no inspiration behind it.
Eminem never really needed inspiration.
Yes, he has. That's what I'm trying to tell you, Paul. Yes, he has.
Every artist needs inspiration.
Eminem is notorious for anyone that takes shots at him. He goes at him. That's been his MO since he's dropped.
But nobody takes shots at him though.
They do. Yes, they do.
Benzino.
No,
listen,
and maybe
that. Like he takes like any type of criticism of
he goes at people.
But that's not taking shots at him. That's like, yo, your album wasn't good. Like, that's not taking a shot. That's not fair. That's just fair.
Anyone that has ever called Eminem out, Moby. Anyone that has ever called
and that's
out.
My point.
Hold on. I'm gonna get to that pop point because there's a point to that too. Okay. Chris Kirkpatrick from the fucking NSYNC. They called him out. He fucking shitted on him. Fred Durst, Limp Bizkit, said some shit.
MTV.
Like he is notorious for doing this shit. Okay. Secondly, the pop thing. Pop stars back then were different. The Justin Timberlake's, like, he was really talking to some shit. Okay, like the whole NSYNC shit. That shit was corny. It was fucking whack. It was that bubblegum shit.
Yeah, going after Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera. That's.
The
deers in a cage.
Yeah, the shit that he was fucking, the pop.
That's what I think he did with this new album, shooting at deers in a cage.
No.
Yes, most definitely yes.
Drake's not a deer in a cage.
But everybody goes after fucking Drake. Like,
but it doesn't mean he's a deer in a cage.
I'm not saying he's a deer in a cage. That's what
Tyler's not a deer in a cage.
He's not a deer in a cage. That's the reason why I think this album, I told you in the car, was like a big misstep for him. As good as like the rapping was, it was a misstep. You know what I'm saying?
For going after too many people. Not going after certain people.
Like I said in the group chat. I think Eminem underestimated just where the climate of the culture is. Like, he's just not in tune at all.
That's fair.
Because he should have known. Like, even that's what I think the Paul Rosenberg skit was about. He's like, yo, you shouldn't do this. When he called Tyler a faggot, that's something that should have rung in his head because everybody knows Tyler's virtue. He's pretty much gay. He didn't come out yet, but come on. Like, he's gay. You know what I'm saying? That's something he should have known. He just dropped his best album, Flower Boy, which he's talking about, like, trying to come out. You know what I'm saying? That's something that shouldn't have like gone off his radar. You know what I'm saying? But he's not in tune with the culture the way he should be. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, you're Eminem, but we don't want to hear you rap the way you're rapping today. You know what I'm saying? It was good. It was great for when you were in your prime, but like your beat selections, you know what I'm saying? Like,
but then,
come on.
All right, but then I'm not trying to defend Revival, but then he tried to do something. He does something different, and then nobody wants to fuck with it.
What are you talking about?
Revival. He tried to do different. He pretty much did a whole pop album.
But he did that the last couple of albums. He had pop records with Rihanna.
Marshall Mathers
that wasn't the first time he worked with Pink.
Marshall Mathers 2 is a fucking good album. It is not a fucking pop. Like,
I'm not saying it's a pop album, but he did pop shit though.
Yeah.
A bunch of pop shit.
He did
a lot of pop shit.
On Revival,
going to Just Blaze, and trying to do the whole "I'll Drop the World." Like, those are pop songs.
He did a million songs with Rihanna. Fucking
He did like one. He did a joint.
He did a joint with Pink. He did a joint with Pink on the Recovery album.
One album.
Fucking, I'm not
Skylar Grey 3.
Yeah, a bunch of joints with Skylar Grey.
It's
like
the same people he fucks with.
He's worked with pop artists. Like, he's been doing this for a while.
He has a formula.
It's just that Revival might have been like Revival might have been like his 808s.
I thought he took some. I thought he took some risks on this album too.
On Kamikaze?
He has some trap beats on there.
Yeah,
which is funny. Like you go and get, what is it, Take Heat or whatever like that.
Take Heat.
Yeah, you go get that guy. You go get Mike Will. You're doing trap beats yourself, because he gets on a lot of his own production. Illmind and all those people, like you're doing trap beats too. Like he sees the climate. He talks about it clearly. Like Eminem's not a stupid guy. I just think we don't want to hear this from M.
Yeah,
that's it. No, and that's why he don't respond. Like, the rapping is good.
I don't want to hear. This is not what I want to hear from my Eminem.
Like it seems like you're mad that rap moved on without you.
Yeah,
that's what it sounds. And that's why I don't like it.
Yeah, and that's my thing. I don't need you, Eminem. Like I don't need you telling me what good music is.
No, he's chastising rap.
Yeah.
He's literally like, if you listen to this album in order, he's chastising the hip hop culture.
Yeah, you have get
a podcast or go on fucking Shade 45 and talk shit.
Or address it in just one song. Just address it. If he would have just addressed it in just one song, the album would have been better for me.
There's like 3 songs that he goes off topic and does other things. The Venom song, the normal song where he talks about the girl.
Yeah,
the girl, which sounds just like a fucking J. Cole song.
Yes, it does.
It sounds like
there's
something.
There's a couple songs where he sounds like actual.
Nice
other
Guy sounds like a Tyler Creator song with and the beat sounds like a Tyler Creator beat. That's why I thought it was like a kind of tongue in cheek because he does shit like that. To be like, I'm a dish you by using your own style, and he does that. He does the rap cadence and he does the Migos flow. Yeah. He plays around. Like we get it. You could do these things like pound for pound, if you're trying to rap against Eminem, you're probably not going to win.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Eminem,
you
can have that. Yeah.
And we get that. Nobody's doubting Eminem's, but we don't want to listen to your rap songs.
No.
That's the shit he doesn't understand.
All right, so you were talking...
And he can make music. Like, Jay found the way to make music and still be relevant in the culture. Eminem could do the same thing, too. You had a misstep. It happens to artists. People do it all the time. Jay-Z made fucking Magna Carta. Nobody listens to anything off that album.
You just move on. Act like it never happened.
Right. It happens. So he was so butthurt. He even says I'm butthurt.
Yes,
he was spoiled. Like, yo, we sent the album back to the waiter. Like, no, get this the fuck out of here.
Because he never faced that. See, the problem was Eminem was never. He never had to face the critics the way he did now because his critics was fucking Carson Daly and.
Moms.
Now, yeah,
like you know what I'm saying,
and shit that he could shoot at deers in a cage. But now your fucking critics is Black Twitter and academics and people with bigger voices than you probably had. You probably assumed that they had when you had to go to these small market radios, or you didn't have to go to a radio because you was bigger than hip hop. He's like, I don't have to do anything,
right.
So you never listen to these niggas. But now Charlemagne has a huge voice.
Yep.
Joe Budden has a huge voice, and he signed to you. And then you turn around, you got this dude, Academics, who probably has nothing going on in his life, but has a huge voice.
Yeah.
He has arguably the biggest voice in hip-hop.
And then you have
right
Twitter,
now.
and then you're like, oh shit, he's never faced that. He's never seen that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's his he did his 8 Mile moment in real life. He basically did that.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
He basically did that.
We did fuck my girl.
Yeah, everybody was fucking whack.
So
I can still fucking rap.
You were talking
and
earlier.
I say a lot of fucking funny things, like in funny voice. Like, nigga, shut the fuck up. I'm so tired of Eminem, yo.
All right, so check it.
And he's only been back a day.
I know. you were talking earlier before about how like certain artists have like transitioned. Like Snoop, Snoop has found like a way to, say Ice Cube. Whatnot.
Eminem has found nothing.
He hasn't yet, and I think that's his biggest problem, right? So I was thinking, it's like, there's got to be a lane out there for Eminem that he can like occupy, and it just be him, and it be his way of, because I think he's one of the most.
Do movies. He can definitely do movies.
No, not even doing movies. Not even doing similar to movies.
He can do movies.
All right, so this is what I think he needs to do. I think he needs to pull from the Weird Al Yankovic back.
But that's his whole career, though.
Who?
Eminem.
What do you mean?
Like the first leg of his career. Just making fun of shit.
Not so much making fun of shit, but Eminem uses a lot of, like, he uses, like, a lot of comedic...
Work.
Hold on a second. He uses a lot of comedic shit in his rhymes now, you know what I'm saying? Like, so you could take a track like Normal, right? Yeah. I was thinking about you could take a track like Normal and do, like, a visual piece to that shit. Like, you can actually make something kind of funny but fucked up with it.
Yeah.
Like the way Weird Al would make, like, those, like, 7-minute fucking, you know what I'm saying?
Go fuck with Kobe.
That's what I'm saying. And that could be your thing. And you can get all your shit.
I would start a studio or something.
But that's what I'm saying. I think there's something where he can still be in that hip hop, but he's like using that to really do what he wants to do. So it's not so much like, and you could listen. We're hip hop over here. You do your thing over here. When you want to come back and be serious and pay attention to what the fuck is going on, you come back. But until then, do you over there. Make your own fucking thing. Like, listen, Weird Al Yankovic, I was looking at this today. He's been nominated 15 fucking times for Grammys. Mm-hmm. He's only won like 4 or 5, but 15 fucking times. He's been in the game.
That's 4 more than Snoop.
Yep. He's been in the game since 1985.
That's what's up.
So there's something to what he
No, you
built.
could make your career last doing different things, and I'm not. Like, we talked about, I think we were saying it on Twitter, I think Paul said this. What did you say? Something you tweeted, something about an artist being bigger. What the fuck did you tweet? I fucking forgot. Something about like an artist not being big, being known for something bigger than what his career was. I think it was Joe Budden. Mm-hmm. Joe Budden's career is bigger after hip hop.
Yeah, like
what it was when he was actually.
Yeah, and he was saying.
Yeah, he got.
But
bigger,
I mean, there's other artists that got bigger after hip hop. I mean, like my boy, shout out to Brooks. He brought up Will Smith. Will Smith is a bigger
example. Yeah,
bigger action artist. I mean, action star or just movie star in general than he was a rap star. But he was a huge rap star. I think Joe Budden wasn't a huge rap star. He was a huge household name. Like he was in fucking Def Jam Vendetta for crying out loud.
Well, he was signed to Def Jam, but
but not every Def Jam artist made it to that game. So
right, but like you said, like he wasn't nowhere as successful as the rest of them. It's like rap didn't work out, so he tried something
Marky
else.
Mark is the same thing. Marky Mark, I mean, like
he had hits though. Like he had
hits, but he got bigger after.
To get out.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So there's been people, but I think Joe Budden is just like hitting a wave where he's on a high. And he's been on that for a while. Like he'll dip and go low, but he'll still be high. Like even when he was battling and he lost the rap battle on TV, it was still high for him because people checked for him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like that. And I feel like Eminem could hit that third wave. And we talked about this, just to circle back to what we was talking about. Like, hip-hop artists, they struggle with detaching from making actual music. And then we don't know how to treat our legends. So we're still learning this as we... Like, Joe Budden's the first of his case. And Nori, shout out to Nori. Nori was, like, the first person to be like, yo, hip-hop is embracing me as this personality. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't really do well with... I mean, well, Rev Run was probably the first one doing TV show. And we embraced them pretty good for, like, yo, you're just a dad. Now we look at Rev Run, we don't even think about Run DMC. The crazy thing, we're like, yo, that's so-and-so's... Yeah, it's Rev Run.
Netflix
Yeah, he has a Netflix show.
They pretty much made a show based off of his show.
Exactly.
It's already up there.
Yeah. No, I know. I just saw it. I was like, wait a minute. This is
shout out to Netflix and shout out to Rev Run for getting the bag.
He had his wife on. It's just
like his show. Kids. It's basically Run's house.
As a TV show, it's like
without getting around without paying Puff.
Yeah, without you don't have to worry about JoJo's dumbass. No, but
and paying Puff. But Puff was the executive producer of Run's house.
But getting back to Eminem, I don't think Eminem really needs like the third act like that. Like, because I think Eminem.
No, you need all people need something. I
think he just needs something to do. Like let me put it in perspective. Like.
Because he don't need money.
I think Eminem is at the zenith. Like, he's one of those artists. Like, when you say Eminem, yo, that's Eminem. Like, how you say, yo, that's Prince, that's Janet, that's fucking Madonna, yo, that's Eminem. You know what I'm saying? That's Bowie.
Yeah, anybody that got a one name is
like, I'm saying, I bring up, like, I want to compare him to, like, Bowie. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at David Bowie. Like, you know what I'm saying? Even past, like, his musical prime, he was still here and there doing stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was still, he'll still pop up at a movie at any given time. And then, you know, he'll find time to just drop an album when he feel like. I think that's where Eminem should be with it. You know what I'm saying? Just take your time and figure out what you want to do at that specific moment. If you want to make a movie, go make a movie. If you want to start a TV show, go start a TV show. You know what I'm saying? If you want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to drop an album, drop an album. You know what I'm saying? Just take your time with it. You know what I'm saying? Don't pander, because that's exactly what he did with this album. As
a culture in a community, we don't prep our stars for that. You know what I'm saying? So like he got to that point and he was like, "What the fuck do I do now?" He was like, "I'll just keep making fucking albums because I'm nice." And, you know, and, like, he's relying on his pure skill, but that's just not what people want to hear.
He had an opportunity to get out, though.
Of course he did, at the 8 Mile.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, 8 Mile was a good fucking, like, that was a great time for him to strike and do other shit.
He stuck the landing.
And how it's well known that him and fucking 50 are fucking friends. 50's got over, like, 100 movies in the fucking bag right now. Like, how can you not be thinking about that shit,
50 is another one that parlayed a third act.
Yeah, and he's still somehow. I mean, the motherfucker went through bankruptcy. Yeah. Like, most motherfuckers disappear and kind of just go into a hole somewhere, and you never hear from them.
It's just that his personally
stopped.
because his personality is just too big. Like,
so is Eminem. Yeah. That's the crazy thing. Like, Eminem has a weird humor. He has a nice person.
I was saying this to Paul. This album, what I got from it is that he's insecure and he's got a lot of guilt. And that's what I think.
His career was based off of that.
And that's what I was trying to tell you, Paul. Like, this motherfucker is like, he's got this weird conflict going on, and that's been like his whole.
And what I'm trying to tell you is the conflict is how trash that last album was.
No, but I mean, if you go back to his first album, he's always been insecure about himself.
Yes, and that's why I was saying he's got always has to be that underdog. He's always like working from the bottom.
It was almost like a relief finding out people didn't like Revival.
I think so.
Like, it was a high. Oh, these motherfuckers gonna learn today. Eminem's back.
That's
I was like, oh shit.
I'm just saying, from the outside looking at it, I can't look at him as saying like this is an underdog story where Eminem has always been like he's been given a lot. Like
he thinks
he
that.
He half the Grammy because he has like 20 Grammys too. Like half of them shits he don't deserve, but he gets it. He gets them.
Oh no, that's a whole other topic. We'll get into another.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't feel in that case. I can't call him an underdog.
Hip hop for being a good white rapper.
Which was a hard thing to get
the key word was the white. Wasn't that Eminem was a good... Because, we had Jarrell up here. He was like, is Eminem really that nice in perspective to a black rapper? Eminem is nice. And I told him that, and I will argue that. Eminem is nice. But I think he got the... I think he got the curve.
And he's
gotten the white curve.
Yeah, and he called that on this album. He was like, listen, if it wasn't for me being a cracker, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't be able to get away with half the shit.
No, yeah, Vince Staples said it best. Like, if Eminem was black, he'd be Redman. You know what I'm saying? Like,
a lot of people said that. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. We had Jarrell on here, and Jarrell said the same thing.
I think first.
I think he said it first.
Yeah. Got it for debate.
Yeah, that's how we do, man.
Yeah.
We definitely, how we do that?
We do shit first.
Yeah, we just do shit first. How about
Listen
that?
now, believe later.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna give up on Eminem, but yeah, this album you can keep. The last album, just
So speaking of albums, that's where I wanted to bring back. That's what I wanted to talk about. Just in general, how we consume music, and we always talk about that here. It's a deep discussion that we get into all the time. But like, are we tired of like? I think it's the whole. We feel like we gotta have an opinion about an album within this first 40. Like, once that first listen.
Yes.
When we going to get over that?
This shit dropped at midnight. You motherfuckers were already talking about it at like 7 o'clock. I had no idea. I was just like, oh shit.
It was a surprise album.
I didn't go to sleep till late. I was up, so I caught,
that's crazy.
I caught the album.
But then I went online and like motherfuckers were already responding to it by like 9 o'clock.
Why do we feel
like literally, I was up, so like, it dropped around like 12:15. By 1 o'clock, there was already like reaction videos on YouTube.
Did you get like an alert or something?
No, I was just up on the timeline, and like by like it dropped like 12:15.
By 1 o'clock, it was thick pieces.
Niggas was already on YouTube with like reaction videos, like you know what I'm saying, like album reviews. Like, wait a minute, the album just fucking dropped. You have an album review already.
Back in the day, magazines, Double XL, Rolling Stone, all the big ones, you name them, Vibe, Source. Every Bag One Source. They used to get albums maybe 2-3 weeks in advance because while they were getting pressed, they'll get an album version, and they used to sit with it and you just listen to it all day. Even us as kids back in the day, you only had like $20 or whatever, so you buy an album or two, and you sat with it for months. For weeks, and then you could give it a good review, but you listened to it, and you actually heard every song, every beat. You knew the cadence, you knew where it could have got better with the verses, everything. Now I feel like people listen to it the first listen, and they just want to give it a review. And then if you don't give it the same review, you're a hater.
That's facts.
Because I think everybody's racing to get that hot take.
Yeah, and that's exactly.
Everybody's racing to get that first hot, like, oh shit, like, make you think type of moment, and then motherfuckers just spawn off of that all their fucking thoughts and opinions.
And because the way music comes out too, it comes out so fast that now even if it's good, you're not even going to give it its credit in 2 months. So it's like
because you'll be past it.
Because you'll be listening to the next thing. It's like
we're fickle, man.
Yeah, we are super fickle. Like, and then people will be like, "Yo, you just hating or whatever," or you know, it's like, dude, you was sucking on Nas' dick 2 months ago. And now you just like, nah, it wasn't really all that good. Like, I ain't heard Cop shot at kids and got since the fucking first day it dropped. And then
I haven't heard many of Nas' songs.
Yeah, exactly. And then we were talking about like how Nipsey Hussle, and I was listening to him earlier today. But Nipsey Hussle had like one of the best albums, cohesive, real albums, like old school style making albums of the year. And people just forgot that he dropped this year. Like, we just don't give a fuck.
You know, people out here making real good albums because that's all they have. Like, Eminem doesn't really need this.
Right. No,
Give
he
or
didn't.
If you don't like it, who cares?
He wasn't being a superstar.
Yeah.
When he decided
Nicki
to make
Nicki
this
Minaj
album.
didn't need to really make an album.
Yep.
She really doesn't mean to make an album for the rest of her life. Nicki could tour off of old fucking records and be okay.
As you say that, I'm trying to think of like what was like. I was trying to think of like over the past couple of years, we don't have too many modern day classics. As you say that, because
and I always say that. That's what I'm saying.
I could probably count like a couple of them. I know. I would say Bryson Tiller's like that first album.
Well, J. Cole's 2014.
Yeah. Of course, you want to say all the Kendrick shit.
I think Cole dropped another classic with the 444.
I did
that would
too.
go down. And I think we sat with that for a while.
I think this
like Hove did a unique thing. Hove made it an experience. He was smart. He knew like, yo, you're gonna consume the shit out of this, so I'm gonna just do other things to make you listen to the songs. So he did the videos with the other stars talking about it. You know, so he dropped those videos, and then he dropped the actual music video,
and then
like weeks. And he just
it was
dragged
perfect
it out.
timing too, especially
mind.
it's perfect timing too, especially with
After
everything that's going on with black people in the country. You know, what I'm saying the Colin Kaepernick shit. Like it was just great timing because he even like kicked it off by doing SNL wearing the Kaepernick jersey. You know, what I'm saying to push forward the whole.
That was probably one of his best
execution.
rollouts of any of his artists.
Yeah.
I mean, any of his albums. One of his best rollouts, and then he ended it with a nice Rap Radar interview. Mm-hmm. You know, like a 2-part interview where he actually would just open up about almost everything. So it's like he figured it out. He cracked the code. Not too many people could do. Now this is a good theory because Paul talked about how you could be a superstar and drop your album and then it's going to do whatever. Sales wise, Eminem probably is going to get number 1. I think he's going to get a lot of listens. It looked like he was getting a lot of listens on it. So he'll get number 1. Nicki will probably be like 6 this week.
She'll be top 5. Like you can Drake is up there.
Drake has been consistent.
Travis is just scorching hot right now. So Travis wouldn't be top 3.
Yeah, I think, and so is Drake. Almost beat
to our
Nicki last week.
To our argument thing, Travis might he might be sitting on the classic right now. Like
I think so. Astro
for the year, but definitely for the year.
Yeah, I love that album.
Yeah, if I'm SNL, I'm opening the season with him. You know what I'm saying? Probably get LeBron in there as a host or something like that. I can't wait for that.
I think he's doing SNL. I'll put money on it.
Who, LeBron?
No,
Travis. No, Travis will
It'll be announced in
Travis
the next 2
is the
weeks.
hottest, is the biggest thing
It'll
right now.
be announced in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think their season starts in late October. Late October, mid-October. So
let's put that out into the universe.
Yeah, Travis will. I think you have to.
Yeah.
You have to. Lauren Michaels, holla at us. While you speak about Lauren Michaels, Michael Shea. Michael Shea goes off on his Instagram pretty often. He was on his rocker today. He went off about the kid, the young man shot up the mall at a Madden tournament.
Before we get into this,
Twitch.
I need to talk to you about something because I feel like, I feel fucked up, like really fucking bad. So, when you brought it into the group chat, Paul, right? That was my first time hearing about it.
About the school?
Yeah. About the shooting,
yeah.
right?
I see what it's
Okay, and then I made the comment about what it is.
Oh yeah,
right?
The guy was just super mad that he lost. Like,
Yeah. But then you were like, nah, I think it's a terrorist act. So I was like, first off, because I started laughing at first. And when you said that, I was like, oh, shit. Like, so I felt like a piece of shit.
No, I mean,
right?
and that's the thing. No, just like, real quick, cut you off. Like, when I say it's a terrorist act, like, that's just me generalizing. Like, anytime you go in a place and kill a bunch of people, that's a terrorist act.
I know.
It is by definition.
It is, but that's when those words were said, then it was just
I still didn't have that
shit.
much context when I said it, though.
Then you hit me back and was like, yo, Brandon, you were on to something.
No, I was saying, yo, you were right. It was. The nigga really got mad and shot people.
So then I watched the video, and it was fucking terrible. Terrible.
That was terrifying.
Yeah.
Like the red dot that was going on, that shit was crazy.
But there was one moment in general, and we might want to like take this out of the podcast. So I don't know.
Brace ourselves?
I don't know. I could be overthinking this. But there was one part in the video where the guy puts down his control. I guess like the shooter's shooting, and he drops his controller and he runs off. And for some reason, it says controller disconnected.
Yeah.
And you hear pop, 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 controller disconnected. That in my head kind of made me like...
Does it work? No, I didn't, dog. You know what? No, not that you say it. No, like
and you're the guy on the other end. Oh, you gonna quit, bitch? You gonna fucking quit? Cause I was spanking that ass, nigga.
Yo, that's. You know what? Now that you say it, bro.
Is wild, yo.
No, that you said no. For real, if I was on the other end, I would have been pissed too. Like, yo, what the fuck, nigga? My percentage.
Nigga, quit before the half.
You know what? We may need to edit this out. I'm not trying to make light of it, but I didn't see where your mind went. Like, you know what I'm saying? It didn't hit me until you said it. But you know what I'm saying? Like I say, that's his first impression. But no, that shit is terrible. Like, let's just say that right now. We're not laughing at this way.
So it wasn't even that happened. That shit was crazy. Like, niggas don't know how to act because they losing the game. Because that was the thing. Other Twitch players was like, yo, he was losing, like, on some repeatedly shit. Like, this nigga just was losing.
And why was he here?
I heard he was ranked. Yo, I heard he was ranked, though. My brother, all right, so
but he was, like, getting spanked. Yeah. Like, it wasn't like, yo, he lost once.
Yeah, he's probably the guy with, like, 10,000 wins and, like, 7,000 losses. Like, you just have a lot of little, a lot of little wins.
Like the nigga just had a bad hand. Like, he was at the casino at the blackjack table, and the dealer just wasn't dealing right. It was just not a good weekend. The Madden 19 glitch was in for him or whatever. So the nigga was losing, so he got mad, went to the trunk on some old, like, white man can't jump. I'm gonna go to the trunk and get my other gun and, like, shoot all you motherfuckers.
Yeah, we gotta edit this whole thing. I don't know. Listen, we're making a little bit too light out of this. No,
I don't want to make it too light, but, like, on some real shit.
That shit's fucked up.
No, it's so fucked up.
But the fucked up part, like, fuck all that. The fucked up part was that as soon as the nigga get convicted, we find out who he is and all that shit, like, whatever. He hurt him, killed himself, whatever. They was like, oh, but he suffered from mental illness.
Yeah, that's some bullshit. That's some bullshit.
This is the same week where the Mexican guy killed a female up in that school, I think it was Illinois, and then he was like, yo, we got to build a wall because these Mexicans over here killing us. Nobody said no mental illness about him. But all of a sudden, when a white person does this, kills multiple people,
they get a blanket.
All of a sudden, here we go with this caveat of, oh, he suffered from mental illness. Like, get the fuck out of here with this.
He was very disturbed.
No, I'm disturbed by hearing it.
Yeah, he was very disturbed. After they die, he kills all these people. That's when we start hearing about, oh, he was posted a lot of, like, unsettling things on his Facebook or his Instagram and some shit. You might see pictures of him holding guns.
And so Michael Shea's argument, and if those that don't know who Michael Shea is, he's a comedian head writer for SNL. He does the weekend update on SNL, the black guy. So for those that don't know, he has a dope Netflix special.
The other black guy, not Keenan.
The other one.
Keenan's still working.
Yeah. The guy we were calling Jost.
Yeah. He has a dope special on Netflix, so if anybody wants to check it out, it's on there. Just look up Michael Shea. But he pointed out the same fact that, every time is always an excuse for, why a white person gets away with, a mass, basically terrorist type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, he killed multiple people. He shot up a fucking mall for a video game because he was upset because he kept losing.
That's some bitch shit.
But it wasn't even that he pointed that out. He was like, what makes you think that the kids in the black communities don't suffer from probably worse post-traumatic stress?
Because they do.
Yeah, the fucked up part is they can't
poor.
They can't get help. Yeah, they can't get professional help. They have to, like, deal with it.
And this is my argument with a lot of people when it comes to, like, like Paul was talking last week
about... Hold on. Let me just say that's not true, Paul.
What are you talking about?
That's not true that they can't get help.
They can't. They don't have access.
Not like the profession. Right.
Let's put this in perspective because we both work in the mental health field. It's always about access to care. Like because
quality care.
That's all is legit. Okay. So when you talk about healthcare or mental health care, it goes cost, access, and quality. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So when you're talking about like mental health, you want those three things.
Yeah.
And people in the hood don't have access. Maybe the mental health programs are set up for them, but it's not around.
They're not aware.
They don't have access to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and access is everything for people. How do you get there? Are they going to get home? What time are you offering it?
Okay. All right,
how are you offering it? Where is it? Is it downtown?
Yeah.
Is it in my community? How do I know? White people have a different access to care. Sometimes it's in their school. Sometimes it's brought to their fucking house.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I never heard about a psychiatrist or a fucking psychologist going to a fucking person's house in the hood. Never.
Yeah, it don't happen.
Never.
Definitely ain't going.
You may get a caseworker.
Yes.
Who's not even a fucking social worker.
That's what I'm saying.
At best, they're a caseworker.
Yeah.
They can't even diagnose you for anything. They're not a psychologist. They're not a psychiatrist. What do they know? So that's a whole nother level. This guy probably had all those things. And that's what Michael Shea was pointing out. Like, we don't have access to those things. It wasn't that these programs don't exist. It's just not real or legit. They don't push it on us. And that's the problem. They're not like, yo, we need to go in the hood and work with these people because there's probably a lot of post-traumatic stress. They're seeing murders every day. They're seeing their dads go to jail. You don't think that's PTSD for these kids?
Yeah. No, it definitely is.
And this guy is fucking mad because his mommy and daddy won't give him a fucking Lexus, and then he shoots up a fucking Madden school because he's losing. But kids out there, they're getting fucking entrapment by the police because they want to put out fucking Louis Vuittons and Nikes. And Nikes. It's just different beasts. You know what I'm saying? And he's pointing these out. He's basically pointing this out to his fans on Instagram, and people are responding in their ways. And one of the things I know Paul, like I was saying, Paul had this discussion last week with this guy and ended up turning into an argument and a fight on Instagram. He was like, yo, all you do is like, it seemed like his goals of success in life was low, but he was like, all you do is have to work hard and then you can have a house like me and a wife that probably don't even love me, but you can do all these great things if you just work hard. And it's not fucking true.
Yeah,
not true.
Not fucking
for
true at all. There is glass ceilings. That's one. And we all know those things. Yes. Two, there's an issue with access. I always tell people the best way to think about it is when you look at golf and you look at tennis. Because, and we'll talk about Serena after this. But when you talk about golf and tennis, those are games that are really
rich man sports.
They're rich man sports for a reason. Because
equipment,
they don't
polo, like get the fuck out of here.
It's not even that. They could probably give you that shit for free. They could have the golf club, but they don't want you there. They don't want you in the sport. Yeah. They know if black people
want
really
you in the clubs.
Yeah, they make you pay to get in the fucking the country club. Same thing with the tennis. Tennis has a tennis club. You know what I'm saying? Like, those sports are expensive to play, so they're not in the hood. They wonder why black people always tend to go to football or basketball because it's very cheap sports to play. All you need is a basketball to play basketball. Yeah. You can make a crate and make a hoop. Football, reasonable. You don't really need nothing but the football. You just make your own boundaries. But golf, you need golf. You know, you need golf clubs, and they're expensive. Golf clubs are fucking expensive. I know kids that play golf. I have friends that have sons that play golf. It's fucking expensive. It's expensive to go to the golf course. It takes a lot of practice, and it takes tutors and helpers and coaches. It's not an easy sport to play. But if you give us the right tools to play those, we'll dominate that sport. It's been proven. Mm-hmm. If you do the same thing in tennis, it's been proven that we'll dominate that sport. You know, and we'll do that. But they don't give us the access to it. And that's what happened in the hood. If they give us the same tools that they give white people in their schools, in the schools here, even where we live, if they had that same access to the schools and the great teachers and the psychiatrists and the psychologists at these schools, the success rates will go through the roof at these schools. Yeah. These kids are not dumb. They're not violent by nature. They're a product of their fucking environment.
Yeah. I think I said this story one time. Like, I grew up with a kid in North Carolina, bright kid, you know what I'm saying? He was one of the coolest niggas in class, but he was just lazy. He was extremely intelligent, but like, our school, like, it was like, we didn't have all the resources. Like, a lot of our teachers, they were like imported from like the Philippines. Mm-hmm. You know, so they were just assigned topics to teach to kids. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, it's fucking wild, bro. I'll talk about it, like, we could talk offline about that, but like, this kid, he was very, very bright. But the thing was, he was always in trouble. He was, he was the kid who smoked in the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? He was that kid. You know what I'm saying? But whenever he was in class, A. But he was failing because he just simply didn't show up. Yeah, there was nothing for him. There was nothing to keep him in school. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the reality for a lot of these urban kids. You know what I'm saying? You don't have, the resources to engage kids to, to go further. You know what I'm saying? It's after school programs. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit that can actually keep them there. You know what I'm saying? I grew up, like, my old school in North Carolina was very fucking small. And y'all know how big Arlington High School is. Like, my old high school in North Carolina, you could fit 3 of them in Arlington. You know what I'm saying? That's how small it was and shit. And that's all we had. All we had for sports was basketball, football, and, like, track. We didn't have pool. We didn't have golf. We didn't have baseball. You know what I'm saying? I think baseball was somewhere else. But, yeah, we didn't have all that shit. You know what I'm saying? But, like, you know what I'm saying? If you fund these schools, you know what I'm saying? That's something we have to talk to the government about. You know what I'm saying? You can keep kids engaged. You can keep kids interested. You can keep kids off the street. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to find other things to do. You know what I'm saying?
Brandon's like, this is too much for me. I just had an edible.
No,
First Eminem.
No.
We'll do a mental health episode sometime soon for you cats.
That'll be a loaded
and
one.
dig deep.
We should bring Danny on.
Yeah, we gotta bring Danny back. Shout out to Danny, man.
He's still out there.
Yeah, he's out there.
Yeah, he's running his program out over in the Berg, I think.
Yeah, we gotta bring him back on. But we was talking about Serena playing tennis. One of those people that her dad invested in her because it takes a lot of money to fucking invest in tennis. But it panned out, and he predicted how she was, and he was getting at cats. There's the interview that's been floating around the last couple of days. A lot of the videos.
Once the U.S. Open started, once I saw that beautiful the Nike ad with the going back and forth, yeah. Like I went and watched all the documentaries and stuff like that. I went on YouTube, watched all the old footage and stuff. Like, yeah, Richard Williams, like he was like the original LeVar Ball, except he was 10 times more humble and like 100 times more accurate. Like his
stories about him. Their stories.
Yeah, because he got bitches. That's all I hear. Ain't nothing wrong with that, right? Like,
but no, even with his daughters, it takes a lot of.
They had a falling out at one point.
Yeah,
of course, naturally,
because you're pushing them. Same thing with Tiger with his dad. I mean, with Tiger loved his dad because you're really pushing them. You see the potential in them that they probably don't see in themselves, but I'm sure at the end of the day, you know, they love their father. But yeah, a lot of the interviews has been floating around, you know, recently, and you know, my man, he was about that life.
Yeah.
He was ready for it, though. He stayed ready.
Yeah, he was like...
He ain't had to get ready.
I still want to know if he kept that pride, because I watched, like, the old interview from, like, Transworld from, like, 92. He said, listen, like, when my daughters, like, Venus want to go to Wimbledon, Serena want to play in the U.S. Open, like, when they do it, like, he said he's going to fly out all the gang members that, you know, that protected them while they were practicing. Like, that's what I'm saying. When I heard that, I was like, yo, that's it. That is the greatest sports story ever. Like, I don't think you can't top that. These girls was from Compton. They used to like gang members used to come and watch them play. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
protect them, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just picture that.
Serena crip walk.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's something I want to see in a movie. Like, that's just something cool to think of. You know what I'm saying? Like, he always had the vision. And, you know, and he took his time. Another interesting thing, like he knew when to fold them. Like, he looked at his girls and like, you know what? I'm gonna take them out of training. You know what I'm saying? Not because they're not good. Yeah, not because they're not good enough, but I have to train their mind too. They have to focus on their studies. You know what I'm saying? Like he did everything right. You know what I'm saying? He didn't make premature moves like LeVar Ball. You know what I'm saying? He didn't crack under pressure. He just took his time, and it's just all paying off. Like, it's just beautiful.
Shout out to Serena Williams and Venus Williams.
You know, both.
I think we don't give Venus enough credit, but shout out to both of them, man, because you know they both crack the code on tennis, and we hopefully more people play. What's her name? Sloane is out there.
Sloane Stevens, I love Sloane Stevens. She's next.
She got a lot of swag too. I like her.
Yeah,
I will say when I was watching the Trans World video that you sent. So I used to, like, my mom used to, like, I used to play tennis when I was like a kid.
Okay.
I hated it though. But I was just like, shit, yo, if I stuck to this shit, man. I got long arms and shit.
You're tall too.
Yeah, but I think
cover a lot of ground, man.
I think that's what Richard did. Like, made sure he did. He
kept that same energy.
I think he made sure that they liked the sport. You know what I'm saying?
You got to.
Yeah, because if they didn't like the sport, they probably wouldn't have been as good as they are now today. But they generally love the sport. You know what I'm saying? That's dope.
They seem like they seem like at the time like they were good, happy kids.
Yeah,
that was like the big takeaway for me watching. I was just like, they didn't seem like, you know.
So we don't. They do. So we don't have a lot of time left because we've been trying to, you know, keep it legit for people. So I want to do some quick, probably like how would you say? What would be a good 2 words, a good sentence on
like a
3?
Round?
Yeah, like a lightning round type shit.
Okay.
With the next 3 topics, and then I want to end with like a fucking funny story because people hate. Louis C.K. reporting to Comedy Central. What do you think? I mean, not Comedy Central, Comedy Store.
Cellar?
Yeah, Comedy Cellar, sorry.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm ready for him to come back. Like, I don't know if I'm going to hell for that one, but
No, I generally don't care.
They need to get over themselves.
Yeah, I generally don't.
What do you want him to do?
Like he's got to.
This might be male privilege, but I honestly don't care.
If it was a female, what do you? I don't.
Yeah.
What else?
What else
You
you
did
want him
something
to
wrong.
do?
He's not. Yeah, he's not in jail.
You admitted
He
that
lost,
you were wrong.
He did lose. He lost shows over this. He lost money over this.
Like,
he
what
paid.
else- what
like
else?
I'm not trying to say that everything, like all should be forgiven. I'm just saying, like the man's he's still living. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and if you're not
you know what I'm
fucking
saying?
with him, just
and
like,
that's what Michael
why?
Che was trying to say. Niggas try to get Michael Che out there. Is it me or is it Michael Che coming off as like a heel in
He's always been that
like
way.
an entertainment
I'm telling
heel?
you, man. I've been following.
You know what I'm saying?
For a long time. He's always been
People
that way.
always question him, like things he do. He says nigga live on TV on SNL. Like he's like white people got him on the radar.
They got him
on the radar.
They like him, but they don't like him. He's one of those people.
They don't like him, but they can't do nothing
close
about
to
it.
that Dave Chappelle era when we don't know if you're a threat or a friend yet.
You're right.
Like he's
That's
at that,
crazy.
because he's the early Dave Chappelle, where Dave Chappelle was doing his show on Comedy Central.
People already don't want him.
Okay, so,
he's supposed to be hosting the Emmys too with Colin. People want him out of there.
With who?
With Colin Jost.
Oh,
They're like him and Colin Jost is the new Amy Poehler and fucking Tina Fey.
So what do we think about Ben Affleck finally going in? Finally going to fucking rehab again.
I don't give a
shit. He got the divorce finalized this week, but his ex-wife still takes him there. She
Jennifer Garner.
Yeah, she took him. He was in the backseat drunk, and he's hit rock bottom again. Is he just a? He pretty much sucks at life now. You think about it, Batman was trash.
He wrote. I'm almost convinced that he wrote in a scene to have the drink. And I'm convinced.
That's the reason why I watched it the other day, because I was like laughing about the fact that he's hit rock bottom.
Yeah.
And for some reason I find that funny. And so I watched Justice League and I was like, damn, this is such a terrible movie.
So bad.
I think Ben Affleck, he's a guy. I don't want to sound
He was
fucked up,
drinking
but fuck
scotch
that.
and Justice League.
I don't want to be that guy.
Doesn't drink
Ever.
I don't want to be that guy, but
ever.
Ben Affleck is a guy that the world just wouldn't miss. I'm sorry.
Hold on. Okay, hold on. I also don't want to
That's
go
a lightning
down.
round, man. Come on.
Okay. I just want to say I don't think he deserves that sort of like this thing. I think Ben Affleck.
No, if he was to die tomorrow, God forbid, I'm like, eh.
I mean, it wouldn't shit on my day.
What do we think of? What do we think about LeBron's The Shop?
I love it.
Preview last week.
I love how angry white people. I love how angry it made white people.
Yo,
I had a lot of angry white people in my mentions.
I seen a lot of angry black people like Jason Whitlock.
Yeah,
fuck Jason Whitlock.
He just did a joint with Van Jones from TMZ, who's another nigga I feel we should keep our eye on. He's just a little too sneaky for me,
and he's a little too smart for his own good.
Yeah. But still,
what did he do?
He's just Van Jones. Van Jones had on Wheezy, which tricked into Wheezy and Mandy finally having their therapy session on Horrible Decisions. Shout out to Horrible Decisions. I like that show. I probably got through 20 minutes of listening to them arguing with each other. They had a live therapy session about their issues. They had a podcast for basically almost a year and a half, and they don't really like each other. But the podcast worked because they had good chemistry, which is weird. It's like, yo, I really don't
who are we talking about?
You never listen to Horrible Decisions?
No.
They was probably they one of the hottest podcasts out in the culture. Female type podcasts, but they talk about kinks and sexual shit. But a lot of dudes listen to, and I listen to all podcasts, but they generally really don't like each other. They don't. If you follow them, they don't hang out with each other
like
ever,
frenemies.
at all. They don't hang out at all. But they do the podcast. But they get the paper together. But they've been kind of subbing at each other on the podcast, and then out the podcast, like on Twitter and everything, dissing each other. Mandy was like, "Yo, I'll fuck you up." They had a therapy session on air. Basically recorded their therapy session.
That's crazy.
And it was crazy. It's a fucking crazy. I'll send it to you.
Much for
it's worth listening.
No,
I'll send
there's a lot of shit. A lot of things like that started popping with like therapists and shit.
Are we done?
Yeah, I mean, I sent you Esther Perel.
Yeah, I still listen. That's some good shit, man.
That's some good shit.
Yeah, she's smart.
Are we done talking about Jason Whitlock's fat ass?
Yeah, I don't like giving a lot of energy to him.
You're right. But no, The Shop is the shit. The Shop is the shit. I love how like, you know, how white people got mad at it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a barbershop. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, because I tweeted, like, wait till white Twitter pick apart LeBron using the N-word. Of course, like, my mentions blew up for, like, 2 days. You know what I'm saying?
Well, just the way he curses is so freely. I think that's just, like, shocking to people to see LeBron let his hair down to show a different side.
He did it during that parade when they won the finals.
Yeah, but that was caught off guard. It wasn't like him doing it like he's doing it openly.
He's the fucking champion.
Yeah, it's like I'm on this show and I'm
like I'm doing it consciously. You know, it's like you know that I'm doing this.
People just aren't used to seeing that from like when you're like the best in your sport. Like, you know what I'm saying? People, you couldn't picture Michael or Magic or
we don't expect that from our heroes.
Like you wouldn't expect Peyton Manning to do no shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
But
but
that separates him from those people.
I can't wait till he gets Serena on the show.
And lastly, what do we think about Jim Brown and Tiger Woods jigabooing out there again?
Tiger Woods, I'm not mad at what Tiger Woods does. Tiger Woods is just focusing on himself. He's like, yo,
Jim Brown jigaboo way before Tiger Woods, though.
Yeah, I give you that. Yeah, he actually did meetings.
That nigga went to the fucking place.
I don't know what I'm saying, but I don't think Tiger Woods. I don't think playing the sidelines is jigaboo. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not like if you don't want to fight, I'm not going to force you to fight. You know what I'm saying? You just do you, and I think that's what Tiger's been trying to do this entire time. He's like, listen, I know the guy. That's it. You know what I'm saying? That's how I took it. I don't see him like he wasn't caping for him. Like, you can argue Jim Brown was caping for him.
Jim Brown was like, yo, he's trying to do good things for black people.
Yeah.
How, Jim? What good things has he done for black people? That's my argument with everybody. Like, I get it. If you want to say, like, yo, he's trying, he's doing shit, like, you have to prove it.
Yeah.
If you can't prove it, then shut the fuck up. You can't cape for the nigga that has no policies. What black people are, he keeps saying black people are getting more jobs than ever. Like, where and what did you do to actually
do that?
Yeah. And nobody has said one thing yet.
Does
Jim Brown looked like he got a bag.
Does Jim Brown have diabetes?
He probably has dementia.
He's
black. He probably does
feel like
diabetes.
he's got diabetes. I don't know why. I just look at him. It's just like he looks really oily.
Probably has gout.
Probably.
He looks oily.
Before we forget. Oh, I'm sorry. Was that all the?
Yeah, I'm done. Yeah, you want to give out a shout out?
Before we forget. William Shabazz.
Oh, yeah.
Stashing them cakes.
This motherfucker is still not done.
I actually like it. I thought it was dope.
I did too. I was like, damn, pudding pop. I think really like. So for those of you who don't know,
get all his commissary, nigga. I want all my commissary.
Bill Cosby is still trying to stick it to the people.
Whoa. As you say that, wow. This dude did not age well at all.
Who's that?
The dude who played Elvin. Wow, this is... Shouts to the intern Karen. She just hit me with the headline. Nah, she just sent me this. Cosby Show actor Jeffrey Owens spotted bagging groceries at Trader Joe's.
Let me see.
Yo!
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that picture before.
That's crazy. Didn't he have like appearances on It's Always Sunny?
Yeah, as a jobber.
Yeah.
And he's still a jobber.
So Bill Cosby's going to jail for the rest of his life, but he's taking his money into Bitcoin.
I hate when people do that to celebrities. Like, I didn't like it when niggas did it to Mel in that Walmart in South Carolina.
So I was watching the news earlier this week, and I like to watch ABC, and one of my favorite parts is ABC on Your Side. For some reason, a lot of those, like when they call and snitch and call ABC News, it's just, like either the landlord did them wrong or their owner did them wrong, and they be trying to interview the owner, and the nigga like run off on the plug.
Hey, I have some questions.
It's my favorite shit ever. So the story this week was basically, so there was it was a guy, probably like, I wouldn't say he's in the mid-30s or whatever, but he is disabled, so he's in a motorized scooter, and he lives in Yonkers. So he was taking a train, and he goes down probably one stop south. I forgot the stop name, but it was south. And he goes to the grocery store, grabs his groceries, get on a train, brings it back home or whatever. So he goes down, grabs his groceries. He takes the train. He went to go take the train back, but he couldn't get on his side because the elevator was broken. So he could not get on his side of the fucking elevator. I know this story. So he calls up MTA. Like, yo, the elevator's broken. I cannot get on the side. I'm in a motorized scooter. I'm disabled. They're like, yo, there's nothing we could do for you, fam. We'll send somebody out there when we can, but right now there's nothing we could do for you. I'll tell you at this time it was about 4:00. So he's like, yo, I suggest you find a different means to get home. It's only one stop. Yada yada yada. So he's like, all right. He went to catch the bus. Takes the bus home or whatever. Like back up, whatever. Uh-huh. But of course, because it's the bus, it doesn't drop you off where he probably is normally he needs to be. So it dropped him off, but he had to take another route to get home. And by this time, it's like 11 for some reason.
At night?
Yeah, at night.
Wait a minute. Whoa.
It's 11.
It took this nigga 7 hours?
So it's from 4 to 11.
What the fuck?
So, the bus, because buses don't run on time, and he was in a motorized scooter. So he probably went from the Metro North to the motorized scooter, took his motorized scooter to the bus stop, which probably took him to like another place, and he probably he probably had to take 1 or 2 buses. I'm surprised his battery still lasted. So by the time it's approaching 11 o'clock, he had to go through a park at night to get to his house where the bus dropped him off. And he basically explicitly says that this park was like where the drug dealers and all the bad
MacArthur Park.
Doesn't look familiar.
Yo, this nigga had to ride his fucking motorized scooter through the fucking night with his fucking groceries.
I wish I had a 5-speed.
Yo, I was fucking rolling.
So he got these Korean Gucci bags.
He didn't get home to quarter to midnight. So he gets home. So from 4 o'clock, all is for one fucking stop and one broke elevator. Yo, MTA, you was some pure trash. You know this nigga's life. Up. And so when he got home, he decided to call ABC on your side. Yo, I lost it. I fucking lost it, y'all. I was dying so much. I was like, I can't wait to tell this story this week, yo. I've been holding this story in all week. This poor fucking scum. And then I see the picture of him on Tuesday. Yo, it looked like he wasn't disabled. He was just fucking obese.
Just lazy?
Yeah, just lazy. And that's what your ass
I
get,
bet
nigga.
that nigga's ice cream melted.
Not up for debate, man. Spotify Radio, PAZ. We on PAZ Radio.
Shout out to PAZ Magazine.
SoundCloud.
We're on
everything.
YouTube.
We're on Plex.
We're on Plex.
Definitely got the
we're
APIs
definitely,
in there.
we're indexed and everything, man. We're on Plex.
We're that cool.
You can even play us on your fucking Android.
From now on, I would like us to be referred to as Africans in America.
What?
We're Africans in America.
We'll talk about this next time.
Okay. We'll table that.